All right, everybody. It is time for your WWE Week in Review Raw Recap Edition. Welcome back again. My name is Easy E. Let's get right into the action from what happened last night's Monday Night Raw. Starting off the show, we have Solo Sikoa up in the crowd with a mic in his hand, openly making fun of Jey Uso and his entrance, then saying that he's here to take care of some family business with the Bloodline. Jey Uso answered the call out by himself and went out to the center of the ring. Jey would eventually issue a challenge to Solo one-on-one for later that night, with the stipulation that if Jey beat Solo, he would come back to the family and present himself to Roman next Monday night. Solo accepted the challenge, but said that if he wins, the Bloodline would leave him alone, for good. After that intense opening segment, we had a first-round matchup in the number 1 contenders tournament featuring the Luchadors. The winner of said tournament will get an opportunity to face Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight title. In the first match, we got to see an awesome matchup between Penta and Laredo Kid. Penta would eventually get the victory and move on in the tournament. The next match, quote-unquote, was a fired-up Akira Tozawa seeking revenge for Otis and getting a match against Austin Theory. This was nothing more than a statement squash match, but Tozawa did show a lot of heart and fight, but was eventually overpowered by Theory. After Theory claimed the victory, the Vision continued the assault on Tozawa to finish sending whatever message they had. Braun Breaker was lining up for a spear when Oba Femi's entrance music hit to save the day. Braun stopped and stared towards the entrance. Oba strutted his way down to the ring as he does and had a stare down with Braun before the two were held apart by officials. Following that, Stephanie Vaquer would come out to address her return to action and how much she has missed being away. She would be interrupted by Becky Lynch, but not in the typical way we have gotten used to from Becky recently. Becky would say that the women's title needs her to elevate it back to what it deserves, and that Stephanie needs to earn her opportunity and not just assume she gets one just for coming back. We then got to see another luchador match between Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee. This match was not part of the number 1 contenders tournament, which Dirty Dom had issue with, and Dragon Lee acknowledged that by saying he would show Dom why he was left out. Dragon Lee would in fact get the victory over Dominic, and while celebrating, he was attacked and laid out by Big Cass. Javon Evans would then run out to the ring wanting his get back from last week, only to get laid out again by Big Cass, who looks like a force to be reckoned with. We then got to see some tag team action from the women. The Judgment Day ladies Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez had a tag match against Sol Ruca and a mystery opponent. That mystery opponent ended up being none other than Io Sky. Sol and Io showed some really early chemistry in the ring together, and they would eventually get the victory over the Judgment Day, after Sol Ruca hit the Soul Snatcher on Roxanne Perez. Before our main event match of the night, we got to see a backstage segment of Braun Breaker, who is extremely calm, almost concerningly so, approach an otherwise unbothered Paul Heyman. Braun would ask Paul directly if he thought Oba Femi was the future of WWE. Paul Heyman initially tried to dance around the question to appease Braun without upsetting him, before saying that it didn't matter if he thought that or not, but what mattered is if Braun feels like Oba was the future of WWE. And that would bring us to our main event match for the night, between Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso. Both men had a really good match and showed out for themselves. Jimmy Uso would eventually come out to ringside to support his twin brother, and this would eventually lead to enough of a distraction for Jey Uso to get the upper hand over Solo and grab the victory, therefore forcing Solo to come back to the Bloodline and present himself to Roman next Monday night. This is how the show would end, with Jimmy and Jey dancing away from the ring, and that is how I am going to end my show here, except for all the dancing. If you want to hear more wrestling news and breakdown, be sure to catch our main show, Talk to the Bell, every Wednesday live at 3:30. For now though, my name is Easy E, and I'll be talking with you all later.